So in today's class, we'll be rendering the faceted gemstones, and we are going to start with the round brilliant cut. So I'm going to use the ruby color. For ruby color, we are going to use that pinkish red. It's slightly pinkish also, dark pink. So here the rule is that the light is falling from the top left, and these star facets, the three on the left side, we are going to keep them as white. The opposite three star facets are going to be a darker shade of this color, and the table we are going to go from dark to light. So I'm going to start with the table, the outline of the table. And keeping the pressure minimal, very light pressure, we are going to give one layer to the table of the ruby. If you are rendering on gateway, you have to color the entire stone with white Stedler first. But if you're doing on the A4 bond sheets or in your sketchbook, you can avoid the white Stedler. So I'm again giving a second layer with the same pressure, and as I go down, I'll release the pressure. And now I'm going to color the opposite ones. they have to be darker. And then I'm going to color these facets again darker. So there is no standard, formula or a standard technique how you should be doing this. As long as you achieve the desired results, you can experiment with the rendering. However, we need to show some light facets and some darker facets and some contrasts. So this one I'm going to keep as very light pink, very mild, and even this one. And then here because this is dark, so I want to create a contrast, so I'm just doing a very light pressure rendering. And then slightly I'm going to put my color on the edges so that the facets stand out. And then I can slightly again render on the table. You can use your white rotring pen to fill in the colors here if you're doing it on gateway. And if you want to show an intense color, you can keep on creating layers, giving layers. And you can add a stroke with your white rotring like this here, maybe a double stroke, something like this. Next we are going to render baguette, and we are going to use show amethyst. So again the light is falling from the top left. Here we need to give strokes. So this area is going to be dark and the strokes will be dark to light, covering slightly more than half of this section. Same way we are going to do from here. And here also. And similarly here. And the table again, it's always dark to light. I'm going to give another layer of the color with the same pressure. And as I go down, I would release the pressure. So again, I'm going to give one more layer. And as I move down, I'm going to release my pressure of the pencil with slight blending. So here, if you wish, you can use your white rotring on these edges. However, here we will be using the color. And then again, we're going to use the color on the edges. So you can use any color. For example, if you want to show this as emerald, you can use the green color, or show this as ruby or blue sapphire. According to the color of the stone, you can choose your color from your Staedtler. Next we are going to do emerald cut. So in the emerald cut, I'm going to show this as emerald, but you can show ruby in emerald cut, you can show a diamond, any gemstone you can show in the emerald cut. So again the light is falling from the top left, and we are going to give stroke from dark to light. And then similarly here. And here as well. Covering more than half of it. And here this I'm going to show as dark, and here slightly only one layer. So this is up to you, however you want to show, but this facet here is going to be light. So again I want to show this medium, or however you feel. Inside it is going to be same, dark to light. So as I move down, I'm going to release my pressure slowly. You can also use a darker shade of green if you wish. So this is the darker shade. Slightly I'm just going to blend the darker shade also here. And blending it slightly downwards also. If you want, you can just show a slight outline here as well. So this is your emerald, emerald cut, emerald. Next we are going to do princess. For princess we are going to show it as a blue gemstone, maybe blue sapphire. So I'm going to start with this facet, very mild. This I'm going to show slightly darker, and then this one is going to be mild. So again, there is no standard rule to do this. We just need to create contrast so that each facet stands out. So for now we'll stop here and we'll do on the table again the same standard. Here the rule we are following. So it's dark to light. And then one more layer. So as I go down, I'm going to again same reduce my pressure. And then coming back to the other facets, first I'm going to color on the edges. And then if you feel there are too many white facets, so you can just color them slightly. And if you feel this works for you, that is where you need to stop. So these are a few faceted gemstones that we have rendered. Next we are going to render the capuchons here. So the first one we are going to render as coral. So again the light is falling from the top left, and how we render the metal, it's going to be slightly different from that. So there are different ways how we render cabochon. One way I like to show you that first I create something like this, that my light area is this, and I'm going to render around it. So because this is a round bead, or a round cabochon rather, we start rendering in the same way how we rendered the sphere. But the area of the light, where the light is reflecting the most, is going to be this way. So now I'm going to give another layer. So the edges are going to be dark, and as we proceed further, we need to show the blending. So you can keep blending until unless you have achieved the desired result. How do you want? So this is how you do coral, and sometimes if you feel that the light area is a bit too much, you can always reduce the area. Next we are going to do turquoise, and this is the color that we are going to use, turquoise blue. Same way how we are going to, now we are going to leave a little elongated arc, and in the same way we are going to color around that area. And even if we want a darker shade of this, usually nowadays we can use also Photoshop to increase or change the color or increase the intensity of the color or to brighten the stones and the design, and it is very very helpful. So this is done. So this is a normal turquoise. If we want to show a matrix turquoise, what we can do is we can use our black color to show the veins, or maybe a light brown or dark brown color just to show the veins of the matrix turquoise. Next we are going to do pearl, and for pearl you have to first use the white color. Also remember that if you're doing on gateway, you need to use the white color for each and every stone, even for the metal. And then we can slightly use our light green and the lightish pink if you want to show the orient effect. It's going to be very very mild. Also you can add a little bit of gray if you want to show, just a little bit of gray, but this should be fine. So this is how we have rendered our gemstones today.